Alex, I walked into the shop this morning and the smell of cedar hit me so hard I almost forgot I have a mortgage. It's a beautiful Sunday, the kind of day where you want to actually finish a project instead of just moving a pile of scrap from the left side of the bench to the right.
Bold of you to assume I've ever moved the scrap pile. I just call it organized inspiration at this point. But seriously, it's June 7th, 2026. The future is officially here, and apparently it's cordless.
Man, the Festool lineup this year, it's something else. They finally pulled the curtain back. It used to be that going cordless meant you were trading raw power for the convenience of not tripping over a yellow snake across the floor. But these new 2026 kits, they've got more torque than my first truck had horsepower.
I saw the write-ups on Pro Tool reviews. It feels like the accessory ecosystem is the new buzzword. Is that just marketing speak for you have to buy our specific screws, or is there meat on those bones?
It's more about the symbiosis. Look at these new impact rated bits. I remember when an impact driver would just shear the head off a bit like it was made of warm butter. Now they've engineered these torsion zones. It's basically a shock absorber for your drill. It lets the bit flex just a hair under load so it doesn't shatter.
So, I shouldn't just buy the giant bucket of nameless bits at the big box store?
Look, if you want to spend your Saturday backing out strip screws with a pair of vice grips and a prayer, be my guest. But the smart money is on these modular storage systems. They're leaning into verticality now. Instead of a deep, dark bag where your pliers go to die at the bottom, everything is tiered. It's about not having to dig through your tool bag like you're searching for your car keys in a landfill.
Speaking of professional moves, have you looked at the trades lately? Every time I open a news site, it's skills gap this and labor shortage that. HVAC especially seems to be screaming for help.
It's a seller's market, Alex. Plain and simple. The old guard, the guys who could diagnose a furnace just by the way it hummed, they're hanging up their clipboards. And the gap they're leaving? It's massive. If you're a young person entering HVAC, electrical, or plumbing right now, you aren't just looking for a job. You're basically the most popular person at the dance.
But the tech is changing, right? It's not just fixing a pipe anymore.
Exactly. If you're waiting for a boss to hand you a manual on energy-efficient heat pumps or smart home integration, you're already behind the curve. The kids coming out of these skills expos, who actually stand out? They're the ones who realize that being a pro isn't just about how you solder a joint.
You mean the soft skills stuff?
Exactly. It sounds boring to talk about punctuality and being able to explain a complex system to a homeowner without using five-syllable jargon. But that's the secret sauce. A contractor told me last week he'd hire a C-plus welder with an A-plus personality any day of the week because you can teach someone to lay a bead, but you can't easily teach them not to be a jerk to customers.
Well, speaking of people trying to make it on their own, let's pivot to the maker moguls. I spent the morning on E-Rank looking at the Etsy trends. It's getting cutthroat out there.
People are still trying to sell those live, laugh, love signs carved out of pallet wood, aren't they?
Oh, Tiger, that's so 2022. Today, it's all about sustainable decor and multifunctional furniture. The data shows shoppers are getting picky. If you're trying to sell a walnut cutting board right now, you're competing with 10,000 other people doing the exact same thing.
It's the sea of sameness.
Exactly. But the data says there's a massive opening for custom engraved workshop organizers. People want their shops to look as good as their living rooms now.
I get that. My shop is basically my church. But the SEO side of that, if you don't put those keywords in the first 100 characters of your description, the algorithm treats you like a ghost. You could be the Michelangelo of pegboards, but if the robot can't find you, you're just making sawdust in the dark.
Okay, let's talk DIY. I saw a project yesterday that felt like it was personally attacking your love of real wood. Someone built an outdoor kitchen and used Trex decking for the cabinet doors.
I know. My purest heart should be bleeding. But honestly, it's a genius move. I've seen some of the best white oak cabinetry rot out in 3 years because the humidity decided to move in. Using composite decking for the faces, it's basically bulletproof. It doesn't warp, it doesn't rot, and it matches the deck.
It's the Trex hack. It's blowing up because it's practical.
It's about the truth of the structure. I'm a big fan of what the Blacktail Ranch folks are doing lately, emphasizing the foundation. Most DIYers jump straight to the pretty part. They want to pick out the stain color before they've even checked if the ground is level.
That sounds like my last garden bed project. Close enough as a measurement, right?
Close enough is the reason your gate won't latch in August. I always say, you've got to master the ground game, whether it's a fire pit or a full-blown deck. If you spend 70% of your time on leveling and drainage, the other 30% is just a victory lap. If you flip that ratio, you're building a ticking heart rate monitor of a project that's going to fail in 2 years.
So basically, don't build your outdoor kitchen on a vibes only foundation.
Precisely. Dig the hole. Pour the gravel. Check the level 4 times. It's not the glamorous part that gets the likes on Instagram, but it's the part that lets you sleep when a thunderstorm rolls through.
I think that's the theme for today, honestly. Whether it's the tech in your drill, the certifications in your career, or the gravel under your deck, the stuff you can't see is what actually makes the project work.
That's a deep thought for a Sunday morning, Alex. Careful, you're starting to sound like a craftsman.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I still haven't found my favorite screwdriver since Tuesday.
Check the scrap pile. It's probably under the inspiration.
Fair point.
Before we head out to the benches, I want everyone listening to take one thing away from this. Don't be afraid of the seller's market in your own life. Whether you're selling your skills to a contractor or your crafts to a buyer on Etsy, the world is hungry for people who actually give a damn about the details.
Well said. If you want to dive deeper into any of these paths, the trades, the maker business, or the DIY hacks, head over to TigerDen.com. We've got the full learning paths mapped out for you.
Go build something that lasts, folks. We'll see you in the shop.